Right then, anyone that can guess what this is, go ahead. Some of you probably will. If you're watching this because you like electrics, you probably will know what that is. It's very old, to say the least. It was in an old garage, or an old shed. It's I don't know whether it works. It's got a lot of cobwebs in it. I think it's probably got wet at some point, but there we go. But it's got no plug on it, and the lead is very, very thin, but it's grey, and it's got no plug on it. And you can see it's got 3 wires, a brown, a blue, and a green and yellow wire. Now we're going to wire a plug, a UK 3-pin plug, because I want to see if this works, which it should do, I hope. But anyway, I've managed to find an equally old plug. In fact, it is very old. They don't make them like these anymore, really. It's sort of a similar design, but not exactly the same. And this one has got very, very wet in the past. There's a lot of rust on the screws, but there we go, it'll match the appliance. So first of all, you have to take, obviously, the plug apart. There we go, there's the old plug. A lovely job, and it even has a fuse in it. How good is that? It's a should be a 13 amp, I would hope. Don't know, can't turn it, I don't care. It's a fuse, and if they like, it'll work. So now, obviously, we have the earth, the neutral, and the live. And all we have to do is match them up. But first, because I don't have any wires protruding from my sleeving, I'm going to have to cut the sleeving back and cut the wires to length so that they will go in the corresponding pins. And there we go. Cut it to length. If you watched my how to do a PL259, a coax, the procedure for getting this sleeving back is pretty much the same. I always use a pair of side cutters and just nip around the sleeving until you've got it right. You have to be very careful not to nip the wires, mind you, because if you nip the live one, you could cause yourself a shock or a fire, or the appliance might not work, like short out, blow a fuse, whatever. There will be problems. But yeah, that's pretty much that done. Now, what you got to remember is, when you wire these together, the blue one, you can do it in any order you want. I don't know why. I usually start with blue, go to the earth, and then go to the live. But you got to remember, in the UK, I think live used to be red, but now blue is neutral and always goes to the left one. If you're looking at it like this, always go to that left one, neutral. And then the earth is the green and yellow one, and that will always go to the top one, the top pin there, that's the earth pin. And the live, it goes without saying, goes to the fuse, so it'll go to the right one. When you do this, make sure you take the screw up quite a way so you can slot the old wire in pretty well, and then do the screw down nice and tight. Give it a little tug to make sure it's in well and truly. I always give the wires a little twist there so that it's a lot easier. They don't fray. Then you can poke it in the hole there with no problems. Just give it a little twist. That's fairly simple dimple. Right, so because I ain't got a tripod with me, I'm just gonna have to do it, and then I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. Right, there we go. Those of you that have never seen a plug wired up before, that's how it goes. I did have a little bit of extra wire. You don't need to have it all curled up like that. There's no reason why not. So I don't know. And I'm going to cut it down. So there we go. There's plenty of room in this plug. No problems at all. Plenty of room. The earth one and the neutral go there, and the live one goes that way. So you can see how it works. Some appliances don't have an earth. They just have a neutral and a live. Like vacuum cleaners. This plug came from a vacuum cleaner, and it didn't have a here it is. Just had a neutral and alive. That's all it had on it. No earth in there at all. It's just a 2-core lead. So if you go to wire something up and it doesn't have an earth, don't panic. It just has a neutral and alive. So now all you have to do is get the old cover for the old plug there, stick it on, and do that little screw up in the middle, what holds it together. There you go. There's your new plug. Job done. Now I'm going to plug it in, but that'll be for another video.